Hey YouTube, okay, today we are going to be working on this FM Browning 1922. It is in 7.65 millimeter or 32 auto. This was given to me by a client who wanted to restore it for his father who captured it in World War II. These were issued to the Luftwaffe. A lot of officers liked them. Saw widespread use in Europe. They were great little guns, fired a fairly immediate or intermediate size cartridge, actually a low small cartridge, the 32 auto. But in Europe, that was the cartridge of the day. With this one, we're going to pull the magazine out. Fairly straightforward. It has the heel-mounted magazine release, which is common in Europe. You're going to pull this back. It's clear. Now, I've kind of cheated this a little bit. There's a little notch in there that you can see. This actually will rotate into it, but it's also kind of a pain in the ass to get off. So, what you're going to do is you're just going to hold it. You're going to actually move this forward. This is controlled by a spring. You're going to pop that until this piece comes off. Then your recoil spring comes out. Okay. Now, if it's easier for you, you can remove the grips. It's just a small screw, and the grips come right off. Okay. To get the barrel out, this is actually going to be a full disassembly. To get the barrel out on this, what you're going to do is you're going to push the barrel back, and then you're going to put it in that sort of half-cocked position. You are now then going to rotate the barrel to the right, so you can kind of see where it kind of goes that way. Then you're going to drop this down, okay, and then you're just going to let the barrel come forward, or the whole assembly come forward off of the gun itself. This rotates, comes right out. Be careful also of this firing pin, spring, and follower. These things have a tendency to get lost. There's your firing pin in there. This one looks pretty nasty, actually. It's fairly corroded. I have to look at my other one to see how bad. I might have to get a replacement. Numbers match on this one. You're looking right there. There's a number. This actually has a different frame number than a slide number, but in this case, it doesn't seem to make a difference. The barrel number is 90774. The nose cap number is 90774. This part doesn't seem to be... The slide also has a little bit of damage there from being chunked. I don't know exactly what happened there. I'm actually not seeing a number on the slide. Normally they are marked. This one is not. This does have the German WAA 140 Waffen markings. This has the same there. And then also you see here the 84328. So actually this frame is matched to this slide. You can see the numbers there. Maybe if you look closer or I zoom in, whatever. And then these two pieces are separate. Yeah, going from there. Anyway, to pull this apart, it's actually a fairly straightforward gun. There's a couple of set pins in there. You can use preferably like a gunsmith's punch or whatnot. And these pins just come right out. And these hold the safety and the magazine release and whatnot. And then there's also a spring underneath that sort of controls the whole gun. It's a flat spring, and it kind of is a little bit tricky to get back in place. But once you get it back in, you're pretty much golden. All these parts just kind of pop right out with their corresponding pins. There's a pin for this. I tend to actually pull these apart fairly quickly just because the reassembly is going to be the bigger thing. But so you can see how everything's sort of kind of loose. This piece will come up. Actually, it won't, because I'm an idiot. What have I done? Oh, let me pull. I'm going to... So there goes basically, so your trigger pin is there. Where are we at? There we go. Trigger pin's there. There's a pin that holds the bottom piece of the grip safety. This also a piece that holds the heel-mounted magazine release. And then you have the ones that also hold your hammer, your sear, and whatnot. Okay, I took a different tool and I pushed the trigger retainer pin out. The trigger then just kind of slides right out. Actually, nothing wants to cooperate today. Figures. Okay. Trigger kind of slides up, the bottom part kind of up and then out that way. The rest of these parts are pretty much the same, fairly straightforward. Where are we at? This one goes out. Also, on this piece, this is actually just held in place with a little spring. So you're just going to pull this out. There's your spring and your little retainer, and then that area, that piece there. Okay, so here's your grip safety. That kind of pops out to the back. This thing is finally starting to fall apart. There we go. This comes out. This sort of kind of falls out. This is the flat spring I was referring to. This is your sear. Also has a little spring in there. This is slightly different than the other one I had. The other one has, I believe, had 3 fingers on it. I'll have to double check. But everything pretty much just comes apart. These are fairly simple weapons to take apart. While we're on the subject of springs, I got a Wolf spring kit. They're cheap, about 12, maybe 15 bucks. If you're going to go through the trouble of restoring a gun like this, especially to the point where you just completely redo it, it's worth spending the extra couple of dollars and making sure that, you know, it's completely dialed in. As far as if you want to remove the extractor, there is a small pin there. You'll have to get a different size punch and drift that out. So there's the top of it right there, and then there's the bottom of it. And typically it goes in from, you have to pop it up. So you're going to actually tap this up, and then this whole little piece comes out. You could drift out the sights if you want. I'll probably leave them as is. These have a witness mark. I was set by the factory, and I'm probably not going to want to screw with that much. Trigger's in good shape. Pretty much everything's in good shape. There is quite a bit of rust and pitting starting on the metal. The finish is getting freckled where the rust has started to eat in. So we're going to basically bead blast this. We're going to smooth it out, polish it up with 320 grit sandpaper. We have to make sure we keep all of these markings intact. That's the sign of a good restoration job. We can also do this magazine. This doesn't look like a German marked magazine. It just says FN 7.65 millimeter, which is standard. I don't see any Waffen markings on it anywhere. So this may be just a standard replacement magazine. Yeah, there's looked like maybe a mark there, but hard to tell. So this is going to get degreased and then bead blasted and then sent off to, and then we're going to do a rust blue finish on it. Again, you can see some of the Waffen markings. Same thing with the serial Waffen marking there. This will probably just get polished up. The barrel is in good shape. It just needs to be cleaned up a bit. Just polish it up a little bit. We're going to respring this. This is the firing pin follower. We'll clean up some of these little parts here and there, just a quick hit with the bead blaster, and then go from there. The main issue will be cleaning this up and getting this thing looking good, stopping this rust here. It's actually too bad that the finish is like this. We also got to fix this piece. This is really sharp edge, like might have got caught on something. Maybe somebody hit it with the wrong tool, but it's too bad because this actually has a pretty nice finish on it. You know, but you can see where the rust is starting to really eat its way in. And then these will just get dipped in Strip X, which is like a stain remover for wood. I'm not gonna sand these. I actually want to keep the lettering. I know it's important to the client, but just basically clean these up. Probably just restain them with a simple leather dye, and then maybe just top coat them with a polyurethane. Here's one that I just finished for a client. This one actually was purchased Parkerized. It's kind of an unusual finish for these. I had done a little research. I was told that possible the French Navy had Parkerized these, and you do see the Parkerized ones on the market from time to time. This one was in a little bit worse shape. The Parkerizing was fairly thin and worn. So what I did was bead blasted, cleaned everything up. Since we were just going to repark this one, there was no need to do any sanding or any kind of cleanup or whatever. This one's 7.65 millimeter, you can tell there. This is also a numbers matching pistol. This one is a post-war model. You can tell by the numbers. I believe the 6 is the year it was made, 1946 possibly. Some of the patent marks and whatnot. And you'll see number 6 is kind of scattered throughout. Very good little shooting gun. Really, they're a lot of fun to shoot. You know, well made, balanced, accurate. This has been Parkerized already. He had given me the magazine, so we just sort of kind of wanted to match the finish as best we could. You can see a little bit of the wear on top. This is also an FN 7.65 millimeter. You can tell this magazine is slightly different. Actually, no, it's exactly the same. What am I talking about? It's just the marks are, there we go. The marks are just a little different, or it's actually a little more faded on this one than it is on this one. But the magazines are interchangeable. They're standard, I think, 8-shot magazines, maybe 9 shots. Neat little guns. This was the, they had the Mauser, or the, the FN 1910, and then they had the Mauser 1922, which is, or not, Mauser, got Mauser in my head today. FN Browning 1910, which was shorter, about that big. And then Yugoslavia wanted something a little longer, a little more capacity, so they extended the barrel. They put this little piece on, and then they also extended the magazine, or the frame for the magazine to hold more rounds. So yeah, standard military pistol of many armies, many law enforcement agencies, and different agencies within Europe when the 1910s up till I believe the 1970s in some cases. So this one will go back to the client. It's parkerized, ready to go. It's been respringed. And when we're done with this one, it's going to be all dialed in and nice high polished blue, and hopefully the client likes it. So stay tuned for the work in progress.